So in previous session, we were discussing about cloud security issues. And under this, we had a discussion about various cloud computing, cloud security issues. As in, we had discussed for poor access management, and we have discussed about what actually poor access management is and how we can handle these issues. And then we had a discussion over data breach and data leak. Under this, we have discussed about what actually data breach is, how it occurs, and now we'll be continuing with how to avoid data breaches from happening. So let's see how we can avoid data breach or data leak to happen. Firstly, the cloud security system must have multi-layered approach that checks and covers the whole extent of user activity every step of the way. So it must log the step-to-step activity that must be monitored and recorded by using multi-layered approach so that we can assure for cloud security in our systems. So this practice may include multi-factor authentications, as we have discussed in poor access management control as well. We can embed the system with multi-factor authentication just to avoid data breach. And we need to actually sure that the credentials are being accessed only by the actual user. The user must present more than evidence of his identity and access the credentials. So it's not just about put the credentials of login and password and the access will be given, but there can be and there should be more reliable and evident for authentications. For example, typing a password and then receiving a notification on mobile with a random generated single use string, maybe OTP of number of active for a short period. So this has become one of the cloud security standards nowadays. As you must have experienced while having transactions from your debit cards, online transactions, उसके लिए आप जब भी अपने credentials डालते हो there is always a notification as a OTP. आपके पास OTP आता है जिसको आप confirm करते हो तभी transaction proceed होती है. So it is kind of double check just to authenticate that you are the actual user and you are the one who is making the transactions. So in a way, we can also have multi-factor authentications over cloud services just to ensure the cloud security. Apart from this, uh, we can have data at rest encryptions. So data at rest is the type of data that is stored in the system but not actively used in different devices. सो कोई भी डेटा है जब भी आपने स्टोर करना है सर्वर पे थर्ड पार्टी सर्वर पे इट इज ऑलवेज एडवाइजेबल टू स्टोर इट इन encrypted form. So this process includes logs, database, data sheets, etc. And when the unauthorized unauthenticated user tries to access to your data, then if it got the access to your data, still the unauthorized user would not be able to actually leak the information because it was stored in the encrypted form. So whatsoever data is being stored, it must be encrypted, and the credentials would be saved in secured form. So this is how we can also avoid data breaches from happening. And the third factor by which we can avoid data breaches by parameter firewalls. Parameter firewalls between private and public network that controls in and out traffic in the system. So in especially in case of hybrid systems, hybrid models, where we are working both with public networks and private networks, and when data is going out of the network and uh, coming into the network, so there must be a firewall, there must be a layer that is authenticating, that is checking for security, or it may also check for encryption decryption mechanisms, just to ensure the um, security, so that data is not accessed by unauthorized users. So there can be a perimeter firewall that can be embedded. So internal firewall to monitor authorized traffic and detect anomalies can be done. So the other risk that we are having is data loss. Data loss is the another major concern that is faced by cloud security, cloud computing securities. And if a data breach wasn't bad enough, there's an even worse cloud security threat that is termed as your data loss. It can get irreversibly lost, like a bit in a huge information. So data loss is one of the cloud security risks that are hard to predict and even harder to handle. So what if we just lost some of the information? आपके पास बहुत सारी information है, उसमें से कुछ data loss हो गया है, even though that information will not be of worth, because it is not the complete information. Maybe the important part of the information has lost and you will not be implement or use that particular information. So data loss is one of the biggest security risk, and it is actually very difficult to predict or trace from where the data has been lost and what kind of data has been lost. So it is quite difficult to handle as well. So there are three most common reasons of data loss. One is data alteration. When information is in some way changed, anyone, maybe authorized or unauthorized user, have altered the information, have changed the information, and cannot be reverted to the previous state. So this issue may happen with dynamic databases. Let's say the control goes to unauthorized user and it actually changes a very crucial information. So whenever that particular data or information will be accessed by authorized person, or it is used in future, then obviously it impact the overall results of the system. So whatsoever results or outputs were expected from that particular data or information, they will be impacted. So data alteration is one reason. The other reason is unreliable storage medium outage. So when data gets lost due to problems on the cloud provider's side, so it comes into the factor that unreliable storage medium outage is being encountered. So the provider must have certain backup provisions, certain mechanism to back up or recover the data, because the data that was stored by the provider was their responsibility, and the clients are totally relying that yes, the data is safe at cloud provider side. So there can be unreliable storage issues as well. And the other reason how data can be lost is data deletion. So maybe it can happen accidentally or maybe with wrong deeds, wrong intentions, that a particular person or unauthorized user have just deleted the data, or maybe there is some other reason, an accidental reason by which we have lost some information, and that wrongful erasure of information from the system with no backup to restore. So this may lead to data deletion. The reason is usually a human error that can be done by human error itself. Manual error can be there. Maybe you are trying to modify something and you just have uh, uh, follow the wrong instructions, and then the data is deleted accidentally or by the error, human error. So this can be done. This way we can delete unintentionally as well. And also there is a very messy data structure over the cloud. So due to that, maybe there is certain storage issue or transferation issue. So with this the data may be deleted accidentally, or system just glitch or malicious intent. So there can be technical reasons as well with which the data got deleted. So this is another reason for data loss. And the other factor that comes for loss of data is loss of access. When information is still in the system, but the user or the client is unable to access its his her own data due to lack of encryption key or other credentials. Maybe it just forget the password and not able to log in or prove that the one is authorized one and the authenticated user, or as the data is stored in encrypted form and you don't have the decryption key, and but you have the access to data. So still you are having the access to data, but data is of no use to you. You cannot use it unless you have decrypted it. So for that you need to have your encryption key. So this may be the reason you are not able to access that particular data and you just lost the access. So due to this, it may happen to maybe the reason for data loss. So these are the few reasons or factors by which data loss occurs. So next, how we can prevent data loss from happening? Data loss होने से हम कैसे बचा सकते हैं? The one is backups. So we can frequently back up our data. So frequent data backups are the most efficient way of avoiding data loss in the majority of its forms. You need a schedule for the operations and clear delineations of what kind of data is eligible for backup and what is not. So you can prepare and plan for certain schedules that yes, after this particular time span, you will going to backup, and you will filter and organize which data will go for backup and which will not. You will segregate whole data. So this way you can plan the things and use data loss prevention softwares to automate the processes. Then the other thing by which you can prevent data loss is geodiversity. Geodiversity, as in when the physical location of cloud server is data centers is basically scattered and not dependent on a particular spot. So that comes in geodiversity, the distributed scenarios. That means the servers, the cloud servers are not centralized. They are not located over one single position location, but they are scattered over various locations. And this feature helps in deal with most of the natural disasters and power outage. So if the client is not able to access the server of one location, then uh, the the services can be provided to that client from certain other location where the cloud server is available. So geodiversity also helps us in preventing data loss just by providing the access to user. And also, since the data is being stored over different locations, so if data from one location is lost due to any natural disaster, and it can be recovered from other cloud servers that are available over different locations. So this way we can work with, just to avoid data loss. So apart from this, the next risk that comes here is insecure APIs. So insecure APIs are also the main cloud computing security issues that we need to tackle. As we know, application user interfaces is the primary instrument used to operate the system within the cloud infrastructure. So this process includes internal use by the company's employees and external use by consumers, by products like mobile or web applications. So the external side is critical due to all data transmissions enable the service and it returns providing all sorts of analytics. The availability of API makes it a significant cloud security risk. In addition to that, API is involved in gathering data from edge computer devices. So authentication and encryption are two significant factors that keep the system regulated and safe from harm. So by authentication and encryption, we can ensure the insecure APIs would not uh, hamper our security issues. However, sometimes the configuration of APIs is not up to requirements and contains severe flaws that can compromise its integrity. So the configuration should be well done in case of APIs. The most common problems that occurs due to the poor configuration of APIs are anonymous access. Maybe there is access without authentication that can be happen, or lack of access monitoring, maybe all occur due to negligence. Someone is not monitoring well, or there is no mechanism to monitor the access. And then reusable tokens and passwords can be the one reason, frequently used in brute force attacks. So the tokens or the password, the OTPs that we are using should not be reused on frequent basis. They must be very uh, random. So the other common problem that occur is clear text authentications. So when you can see input on the screen, it must be authenticated. So maybe there is no clear authentication. That is why we have given the access and we are facing the problems. So how to avoid problems with APIs? How we can just avoid these problems? There are several ways to avoid these problems. One is penetration testing that emulates an external attack targeting specific API endpoint and attempting to break the security and gain access to the company's internal information. So basically, there may be a hacker or any external attack that is intentionally trying with maybe hit or trial method, keeps on trying and testing with the passwords just to get into the authentications and get the information of the company. So this can be happen. And then maybe general system security audit. By using this, the problem can be avoided. There can be a regular checks for security mechanisms, how well they are performing, and just to ensure there is no loophole. And by this, we can avoid the problem of APIs. Then afterwards, we can have secure socket layers or transport layers, security encryptions for data transmission. Over the cloud, as we know, data transmissions are involved. So there must be secure socket layers, and there must be a security encryption mechanism over the transport layer, just to ensure that data so transmitted is well secured and is in encrypted form, so that if someone gets the access in between, still they are not able to use the information to decode the information because data is encrypted. So this is how we can avoid the problem with APIs. Then lastly, multi-factor authentication is one of the best way by which we can prevent unauthorized access to due to security compromises. So by multi-factor authentication, we means that we are double checking the authenticity of the user. So this way we can avoid the problems with ABI in context with cloud computing security. So the other major issue that comes here with cloud computing security is misconfigured cloud storage. Misconfigured cloud storage is continuation of an insecure API cloud security threat. For the most part, security issues with cloud computing happen due to an on-site and subsequent superficial audits. So here what happens, cloud misconfiguration is a setting for cloud servers for storage or computing purposes that makes it vulnerable to breaches. So if the cloud is not configured well, then there is a chance of a data breaching, because the storage is not configured, it is not that secure, and there is a chance of breaching or data leakage. The most common type of misconfiguration includes default cloud security settings. So there can be default cloud security settings of the server with standard access management and availability of data. So this is one of the common type for misconfiguration of cloud storages. And the other one we are having is mismatched access management. When an unauthorized person unintentionally gets access to sensitive data. Mismatch access management, as in, let's say you are trying to log into your account, but you have just entered the wrong credential, and coincidentally those credential are matched with some other one's credential, and you got the access to their account, and you have all the access to their data. Maybe the data is sensitive, so this way this mismatching must not be there. And uh, this due to this mismatching and misconfiguration, it may leads to misconfiguration of cloud storage. So this can be avoided, and this must be avoided. Then we have mangled data access. So when confidential data is left out in the open and requires no authorizations. So let's say you are openly can access some of the important information regarding the organization or their credential information. They are unprotectively, unencryptedly just left open, and anyone can access and take the advantage from there. So such scenarios should be avoided, and the misconfiguration actually happens due to mangled data access. So these are few of the common types how misconfiguration may include. And then the other factor we are having here is DOS attack, denial of service attacks. So you must be aware of denial of service attacks. The scalability is one of the significant benefit of transitioning of the clouds, and the system can carry a considerable workloads, but that doesn't mean it can handle more unexpectedly. It can overload and stop working. That's a significant cloud security threat. So there may be a chance that your cloud is going overload, or maybe one of the server of your cloud is going overload and it just stop working. So it when it goes down, so there can be a threat, because maybe the server, that particular channel may be just attacked by denial of service, and you are not able to access the server, and you are not able to access your data. So this way it can impact. Sometimes the goal is not to get into the system, but to make it unusable for customers. So you are just lost the access to system resources or the information you want to access. So that is basically what is called denial of service attack. And in essence, denial of service is an old-fashioned system overload with the rocket packet on the back. So it is just overloading the server or the system, and it is not allowing the actual user or the customer to have the services. So the major type of denial of service attacks are brute force attack from multiple sources, or it may be more elaborate attacks targeted at specific system exploitation. So these are the two types of attacks that have been done. So during a denial of service attack, the system resources are stretched thin, and lack of resources to scale causes multiple speed and stability issues across the board. So by just scaling down the system and hampering the speed, it can impact the end productivity and the access of customers. So customers feel unsatisfied, or they just cannot do their work because they don't actually have the access. So these are the certain security concerns and issues that are faced. And there are certain ways by which we can avoid denial of service attack, as in we can put it to up to date intrusion detection system should be there. Then we can also embed the firewall traffic type inspection feature. There can be a mechanism to inspect the firewall traffic. So if the traffic is going on, it will immediately go for the solutions. And the other way by which we can avoid this attack is by source rate limiting. One of the critical goals of denial of service is to consume the bandwidth. So we can just source rate, we can limit our source rate to uh, overload the system. So then we are having blocking of IP addresses that are considered to be a source of an attack, helps to keep the situation under control. So if any one of the IP address is just shooting the traffic too much, we can block that IP just to control the situations. So this way we can